In this video, we're going to look at conversions for temperatures, and then we're also going to look at conversions between the metric and the US systems. So this is a big table. I would definitely make sure that I pause the video and write down all of these because these are some kind of weird numbers, right? So this is the table that will take you from metric to US and back. So we've got one column for length, a column for capacity, and then a column for weight or mass. And so you want to make sure you have these and have access to these when you're doing these conversions. So let's start with a couple of examples. So kilograms to pounds. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to my table and try to find the one for kilograms and pounds. And so if I look, I can see that kilograms and pounds right here, I know that I've got kilograms to pounds could be 1 kilogram is about 2.20 pounds, or 0.5 kilograms is about 1 pound. Now, both of those conversions are accurate. You can use either one, okay? And your answer will still be right. So I'm just going to pick one, okay? And we'll work it that way. So 58 kilograms to pounds, okay? So again, you could choose, right? If you wanted to use either one. If, let's just say I used the second one, so 0.45 kilograms is 1 pound. That would mean that my kilograms would need to go down here. My pounds would need to go up here because I would need to make sure that those canceled. And then I could divide 58 by 0.45, and I would get 128.89 pounds. Okay. All right. Then if we look at milliliters to fluid ounces, okay, so that's our capacity. So I'm going to find milliliters to fluid ounces. So right here, that's the one I'm going to be using. And so I can start out by saying 225 milliliters. I'm going to multiply that by my unit fraction. But again, I want my milliliters to be in the denominator. So 29.57 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce, because my milliliters will cancel. I'm going to divide on this one. And so that leaves me with 7.61 fluid ounces. Okay, so get a few more. So here I want to convert from ounces to grams. So I'm going to again start in my table, and I want to find something that will convert me from ounces to grams. Again, if we look, we've got 1 ounce is about 0.04 grams, or 28.35 grams is about 1 ounce. Again, either one will be fine. So if I start out with 8 ounces over 1, this time I'll do the first one. So 1 gram equals 0.04 ounces. That means that I need my ounces to be in the denominator and my gram to be in the numerator. These will cancel. I'm going to divide, and I'm going to get 200 grams. Next one, we've got meters to yards. So if I look here, I've got 1 meter is about 1.09 yards. And so again, I'm going to start 5.2 meters over 1. I'm going to multiply that. I need my meters in the denominator, which means my yards would be in the numerator. My meters cancel. This time I would multiply. So I would get 5.67 yards. Okay, let's do a couple more like this. So it says a punch recipe calls for 10 gallons of juice. How many liters is that? So I'm going to start off with 10 gallons over 1, and I need to convert that to liters. So I'm going to go to my table, and I want to find liters and gallons. So again, I've got this one, or I've got this one. Either one is fine, okay? So I'm just going to go with the first one. So 0.26 gallons, 1 liter. My gallons cancel, and I'm left with dividing. So 38.5 liters. The distance between two cities is 355 kilometers. Convert this to miles. So 355 kilometers, and we want to convert that to miles. So I'm going to come to my chart, and got kilometers and miles. Okay, that one. But hey, look, I've got another one. It doesn't matter which one you use. Okay, they both work. So let's see. I'll do the first one. So that means that I'm going to have my kilometer on the bottom and my 0.62 miles on the top. My kilometers cancel. I'm going to multiply on this one, and I get 220.1 miles. All right. The last thing that we need to look at is temperature. So converting temperature, we've got a couple of different formulas. So when we're converting Celsius to Fahrenheit, so Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 times Celsius plus 32, or you can think of it as 1.8 times Celsius plus 32, same thing, okay? So you're going to multiply the Celsius temperature by 9/5 or 1.8, and then you're going to add the 32. So the order is super important. You have to follow order of operations. Then if you're trying to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, it's 5/9 times, notice this is in parentheses, F minus 32. So you have to subtract the 32 from the temperature first, then multiply by the 5/9. So let's look at a couple of examples. So the first one we're going to look at is converting to Fahrenheit. So our formula, okay, remember, is 9/5 C plus 32. So we're going to say 9/5 times 20 plus 32. So we're going to first start out by multiplying 9/5 times 20. That'll give us 36. Then add the 32. So our final answer would be 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. Again, we've got 9/5, our degrees Celsius, plus 32. So to solve it, first, you're going to multiply the 9/5 times the 70.1. So that would give us 126.18. then add the 32. So 158.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. All right. These are converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius, so we have a different formula. So C equals 5 ninths times F minus 32. So in this one, we're converting 85 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So 5 ninths times 85 minus 32. So our order is going to be a little different. First, we're going to subtract the 85 minus 32. So 5 ninths, that gives us 53. And then we're going to do 5 ninths times 53 to give us the 29.4 degrees Celsius. Same thing here. So we're going to start out by subtracting 81 minus 32, and that gives us 49. Then we do that times the 5 ninths. So we get 27.2 degrees Celsius. All right, we're going to look at 2 word problems and then we're all done. So number 5 says, a weather forecaster has predicted a high temperature of 2 degrees Celsius for tomorrow. Find this temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So that means I want to use the Fahrenheit formula, which is 9/5 times degrees Celsius, which is 2, plus 32. So I'm going to start out by doing 9/5 times 2, so 3.6 plus 32. So it would be 39.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Six says, for the production of a special product, a substance must be heated to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Find this temperature in degrees Celsius. So C equals 5 ninths times our Fahrenheit temperature minus 32. So we're going to start out by subtracting. So 5 ninths times, that leaves us with 418. And so our final answer would be 232.22 degrees Celsius.